Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video where we are going to dive into the depths of the ocean. We will do this to get to know a lot of different species and to learn about them right here on the cover of our box. We can already see a big orca. It's making a huge jump, and I don't know if you know this, but orcas are some of the biggest predators in the ocean. Also, inside we have figures of different shapes and textures. Look. Let's take them all out so we can learn their names and their characteristics. Let's see which one comes out first. How about we take out a swordfish? It's mainly characterized by the shape of its mouth, since, as you can see, it looks like it has a sword at the tip. Also, we can see in the figure a lot of teeth, which, although they're not very big, are definitely sharp. We can see a large dorsal fin and a strong tail at the end, which allow it to swim at high speed. Also, I love this figure because it's one of the soft ones. We can squish it and also stretch it. As you can see, inside we have Orbeez beads, and that makes it very relaxing. For more information, we're going to use the book or the Encyclopedia of Sharks and Other Marine Predators. Inside, we have a lot of information about all of them. For example, here on these pages, it tells us about the white-tip reef shark. It also comes with several illustrations where we can see how it feeds on other animals. Let's look for information about the swordfish. Here we have information about both the swordfish and the barracuda. Also, this illustration really catches my attention. As you can see, the swordfish is in the middle of a hunt. It has pierced a giant squid with its sword. It tells us that it usually lives in the open sea, but sometimes it also comes close to the coast to look for food. It is able to dive to about 800 meters deep. Also, adult specimens can reach a length of 4.5 meters, which is impressive. Well, here we have our swordfish. Also, an interesting fact is that the information here tells us that it doesn't have teeth.
I did tell you that the little figure had small teeth. We need to correct that.
The swordfish doesn't have teeth. Instead, it swallows its prey. So, let's leave our swordfish here and get to know the next specimen. A dolphin comes out of our box. The figure is very different from the previous ones. As you can see, this one isn't soft. It's made of hard plastic. But I really like it because it comes with metallic paint. It's a dolphin. Dolphins are mammals. They breathe through lungs, and their babies are born from their mother's womb. Also, they are very, very intelligent animals. They communicate through sounds. On the top, they have a single blowhole to breathe, and they are also characterized by their dorsal fin. Also, they love to do big flips and jump in the water. Another very important fact about dolphins is that they are very sociable.
Viven en grupo o en manada.
They are not solitary. Here's another one. Let's see the next one. And we have a super predator of the oceans, mammals.
Mammals! Dun dun! Mammals!
Great white shark.
Un ejemplar espectacular. Además está...
Sundays! 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 It's rigid plastic. We can appreciate all the details of its physique. Its large dorsal fin is its most characteristic feature. Mammals,
Fijaos, posee una gran cola.
which it can move at great speed to swim very fast. Mammals! And also, they usually have the ability. They have a great technique to catch their prey. They dive under the water, leaving their prey on the surface. Then, when it's off guard, it makes a big leap and swallows its prey. Impressive. We have much more information on these pages. Look at the left side of the book. We have a size comparison so you can see what the size of a human would be compared to the size of a great white shark. This one, as you can see, did have a lot of sharp teeth. And in this illustration, we can see an example of what I mentioned to you earlier. It has made a big leap to eat this prey. Adult great white sharks can reach a length of about 6 meters. It feeds on fish and other animals it finds. Also on marine mammals. Let's continue with a giant octopus. Here we have a giant octopus. I love it because it comes in a reddish color. We can see its big head, with eyes on each side. But the most spectacular thing about the octopus, above all, are its tentacles. It has a total of 8 tentacles, and on the underside of each one, it's full of suckers. Octopuses love to hide in every nook and cranny they find in the rocks. This way, they can also camouflage themselves, to find some prey to feed on, but also to hide from other predators. This figure is also one of the soft ones. It has little beads inside and we can stretch it. There are some octopuses that are gigantic. Let's throw our figure. 1, 2, 3. Wow. We'll leave it here to keep learning about animals. We have a little tropical fish. I'm sure many of you know this fish because it's the main character in a Disney movie. It's the movie Finding Nemo. It's a clownfish. It's also super soft. And the inside is filled with cork balls. The clownfish is a tropical animal, or rather, it's a tropical fish that lives in warm and tropical areas. That is, where the water is a bit warmer. It is also known for its beautiful and striking colors. Here we have it in orange with these white stripes. That makes them very eye-catching. Here's another one. Let's see which one comes out now. We have a figure that's very different from the previous ones, especially because of its large size. This time, it actually comes articulated. We can open and close the jaw, revealing its tongue and the upper part of its palate. We can also move the fins up and down, as well as its tail, which is what I like the most. Also, this blue whale comes riding on a big wave that serves as a platform to keep the figure standing. Let's look for more information about this gigantic animal in the Great Encyclopedia of the Sea. And here we have it. We get a lot of very interesting information. It tells us that the blue whale is a giant of this planet. It is approximately 30 meters long and can weigh up to 170 tons. It is the largest living being that has ever existed on planet Earth. It also tells us that it has a double blowhole. That is, it has 2 openings to breathe. Just like the dolphin, it has lungs, so it needs to come up to the surface to breathe oxygen. Also, we can see it here gulping down a lot of krill. Well, now we have more information about the blue whale. Another interesting fact is that when it feels threatened, it can reach about 50 kilometers per hour when moving as fast as possible. We only have a few animals left inside. And this time, we have a polar bear. The polar bear lives in very icy areas where it's extremely cold. The most distinctive feature of the polar bear is its fur, which is completely white. This color helps it to blend in with the snow, making it easier to hunt. Sometimes it has to dive into frozen waters to look for food, mainly fish.
Another one over here.
And we only have one animal left to meet. And look at this. It's amazing. Do you know what its name is? It's a walrus. This spectacular animal is characterized by having these 2 large tusks that come out of its mouth. It's also a rather robust and heavy animal. It has 2 front flippers and a tail. Therefore, it can both swim in the water and also come up onto land. It moves by dragging itself with its 2 front legs and its tail. It also lives in very icy areas, where it's extremely cold. I'm sure some of you have seen a photograph of a walrus on top of an ice block. Also, the figure is one of the soft ones. We can squish it. And now, we've finished today's video. Here we have all the sea animals we've learned about today. If you liked it, you can help me by giving me a super like, a thumbs up. And I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now, I'll say goodbye. See you in the next video with more amazing animals. Goodbye.